First up is Sentimental Value. This is a movie that is getting a lot of Oscar buzz. Comes out in select theaters Friday, November. Eric, the director, Joachim Trier, I might be mispronouncing the name. Have you seen any of his movies? Movies include Thelma, Louder Than Bombs, The Worst Person in the World. Have you seen any? I'm thinking that you are actually unfamiliar.
Worst Person in the World sounds familiar, but I don't know
It's a
if I've seen
Norwegian
it.
film starring Renate Reinsve, and it came out in 2021. It turned Renate Reinsve. Again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing both of their names, but Renate Reinsve, she actually became a star because of The Worst Person in the World back in 2021. That got a lot of heat. 4 years later, Joachim
Oh,
Trier is
yes,
back.
I did see that one. We covered that one, I think.
We did cover that one,
Yeah.
and it's hard because we cover so many movies every single week. Now, compounded that was 4 years ago. I absolutely love that movie from 4 years ago. I don't know if you even remember that movie, Eric. That's nothing on you. It's just because we cover so many movies.
But that was like kind of sort of a romantic comedy kind of thing, where
That's
it's like
right. That's right.
from what I remember, the worst person in the world is kind of ironic because she's the worst person in the world because she broke up with someone or whatever. But it was like
That's right.
it was the title is like very or I guess meant to be ironic because like her character is not really that bad. She's just
Right. She's exploring her sexuality,
yeah.
exploring her journey, exploring her maturity. It's coming of age from a woman's perspective, that woman being Renate Reinsve. That movie was directed by Joachim Trier. The same team, and let me also mention co-writer Eskil. I believe writers Eskil and Joachim Trier, they wrote The Worst Person in the World together, if I'm not mistaken. And they're back together to write the screenplay for Sentimental Value. Joachim Trier is back to direct. He's the director behind Sentimental Value. And Renate Reinsve, the star of The Worst Person in the World, she is back as the lead in this movie. Sentimental Value, it's a weird thing because it centers on a family. There's two sisters, Nora and Agnes. Nora is played by Renate Reinsve, and Agnes is played by, I cannot pronounce this person's name, Ild's daughter, and she has the smallest role. But what happens is these sisters, they lose their mother. Their mother, who is a psychiatrist, she passes away. And what happens is at their reception, at the wake, or after, what is the event after a funeral? There's a reception after the funeral, right? At the
What is it, a
reception, at
wake?
their, not
Oh
a
wait,
wake, is a wake, is
the
it, I
wake's
forgot what they're
before.
called. Well, it doesn't show in the church. Actually, it shows in the house post funeral. So they're having a get together post funeral of their mother, and the sisters are trying to keep it together, and they're holding this mini reception at their house. And lo and behold, their father, Gustav, played by Stellan Skarsgård, he appears out of nowhere. The reason why it's a surprise is because Gustav left their family over 10 years ago after having a big fight with their mother. Because of this fight, Gustav, his main job is he's a filmmaker. He's literally almost pretty much abandoned them for the last decade plus, leaving Nora and Agnes to live and grow up under this beautiful house under the supervision of their mother. Now, the story starts off with the mother's passing, and now Gustav is trying to actually re-enter both of their lives. Gustav has written a script that he wrote for his eldest daughter, Nora, again played by Renate Reinsve. Nora is a stage actress, and Nora is a talented actress. Gustav offers her the lead role in his script. Nora has never been in a movie. If she accepts this script from her father, she will possibly get a little bit of fame because her father, even though he hasn't made, I think, a movie in over 15 years, is a celebrated filmmaker. She immediately says no. She doesn't want to work with her dad. She'd rather just work on the stage, the local beautiful theatrical productions. And he's a little bit flustered because he wanted her to star in his movie. But what happens is the little mini twist, and it's not a spoiler because it's part of the plot summary, is ultimately Gustav, the filmmaker, he gets a young Hollywood star played by Elle Fanning to take over the lead role in that script. So the rest of the movie deals with Gustav and this Hollywood starlet, this ingenue played by Elle Fanning, as they are trying to get this movie off the ground. Most of the movie will be shot in their beautiful family home in Norway. A lot of Sentimental Value deals with the history of the home, the generations who lived in this home. And the reason why the movie is called Sentimental Value is the home itself is very sentimental to everyone who lived there, who have since died. We get to see a little bit of an insight to the people who lived and died in the homes. We get to learn about the people who actually live in the home right now. And then we get to see also how the home ends up being a movie location for Gustav and that ingenue played by Elle Fanning. And then you also get to see Nora and Agnes as they try to understand their own relationship with their father, and they're trying to reconcile the situation because they haven't seen their father for years. And look, he's actually taken over their family home and he's shooting a movie in a place and location where where their mother just died, and B, it's weird to have a movie crew in their personal space. Rated R, running at 135 minutes. The worst person, that's sentimental value. The worst person in the world is just a beautiful movie, and it just moves at a really interesting pace, and it's just flashy and gorgeous and wonderful. Sentimental value is much more, in my opinion, cerebral, but it is also packed with a ton of feeling as well. It doesn't go down as, like Anderson likes to say, it doesn't go down as smooth as The Worst Person in the World, but it's still a very beautiful movie about the true relationships between a father and daughter, a father and his daughters. It really focuses on the relationship between Nora, again played by Renate Reinsve, and her father, Gustav, played by Stellan Skarsgård. This is a movie that, in my opinion, will get a ton of Oscar nominations. I believe Elle Fanning, who as of this weekend is starring in Predator Badlands. This weekend, Elle Fanning is starring in Predator Badlands, which I'm sure Eric Holmes is going to see this weekend. And she's starring in Sentimental Value. Oh, you might not see Predator Badlands.
I still haven't seen Prey.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, well, because you don't have Hulu, probably. But anyway, I think you might like Prey, actually. Elle Fanning, I think she'll receive an Oscar nomination. She's very good as that starlet who's trying to just expose herself to Norwegian culture, even though she is from Hollywood. She's trying her best to make the director happy. And it's very interesting to see how the challenges that this A-list actress has in facing this very personal film. Nora, as the eldest sister who just really can't have a real conversation with her father because her father has been distant, is also excellent. This is a shoo-in as far as Oscar nomination for Stellan Skarsgård. It's a very showy role, very charismatic role. I think there's going to be a ton of nominations here for sentimental value. It's a sublime, beautiful film filled with emotion, and there's so much that happens on the first go round. It's very dense, 135 minutes. All right. So there are things that you might miss.
So it's not like 135 minutes where like 35 of those minutes is them staring at a wall, or it's,
no,
you said it's dense. So it's like constantly, the story's constantly moving forward. The characters are constantly doing things.
That's a great question. Yeah. The movie is constantly doing things, and there's not 5 minutes of someone looking at a spider going on a wall and it pans down slowly. No, none of that stuff.
And it's nothing like a 3-hour movie where we have to sit there for 10 minutes watching a door close.
No, exactly. None of that with sentimental.
Go find another editor, please.
And there's a little bit of mystery in sentimental value too. And there are very interesting, I don't want to give too much spoilers. There are some interesting explorations and secrets that are buried within the world of sentimental value. I really love this movie. Eric's top rating is 6.9. I'm not a 6.9 person, much respect to Eric Holmes, but I'm giving it 5 stars. I'm even going to say probably 5-star classic. This is one of my favorite films of the year. It's a movie that's completely tailor-made to my aesthetic. Eric, I don't know if you like movies about making movies, if that's like The Player or stuff like that, but Sentimental Value has some really interesting inside baseball filmmaking stuff in it as well. So if you are looking for movies about making movies, like 8.5 or The Player, you're going to get that little element with Sentimental Value, along with this very resonant look at family relationships. 5 stars for me, Sentimental Value, Friday, November 7th, 135 minutes, rated R. CinemAddicts listeners, tell us if you're excited about Sentimental Value. More importantly, once you see it this weekend in theaters or maybe down the road, hit us up in the comments. Tell us if you think this is one of your favorite movies of this year as well. Yes, Eric Holmes.
Just for clarity, a movie about making movies doesn't dial one way or another. If it's good, I like it. If it's bad, I don't. But there's no inherent prejudgment on whether it's a movie about a movie.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, Thanks so much for your support. Take care.